Hi everyone, Lewis here. I wanted to do another review because there's a film I wanted to talk about. I watched it last night and I've heard about it for a while. It's called RRR, which is really difficult to say. I've been calling it Triple R when I've been, well, not I've been talking to many people about it in person, but that's always the way I thought I pronounced it. But I think it is pronounced RRR, which sounds like you're laughing, but it's fine. Yeah, I watched it on Netflix. It's just gone on Netflix, I'm pretty sure internationally. Obviously, I'm in the UK. And I don't know if it was out in the cinema very long over here. I think I might have seen it advertised, but I didn't know anything about it at the time. But I've heard a lot of talk about it, and it's an Indian movie. I believe it's a Tollywood movie. I believe it's called. I went into it knowing nothing. I did a little bit of research afterwards. I'm not going to try and remember or pronounce the director's name or the actor's names. So I just think I'll do a really bad job of it, and I don't really know them anyway. But from what I understand, the two main characters in it are two massive Indian movie stars kind of thing, and I see why, because they're both fantastic. But yeah, I really like this movie. I watched it last night and I've spent a lot of today talking to people about it, and yeah, I just thought it was fantastic. It's a big budget movie, but compared to some big Hollywood movies, it's not. I think the budget is the equivalent of 72 million American dollars, which when I saw that up I was quite amazed. It's a really interesting one because there's a fair bit of like CGI in it, if we're talking about the budget and that kind of thing, because it says at the start all the animals are CGI in this film. There was no animals mistreated or anything like that, which is always nice to see. I know every film says that normally at the end, but it's specified they're all CG. So I thought, I wonder how the CG is going to be, and it was pretty good. Like it didn't look 100% real, but that's very difficult to do, especially with a smaller amount of money. Like $200 million films can't make animals look completely real. And a lot of the action was CG, assisted, I think is probably the best way of putting it. And it all has kind of a fantastical kind of sheen to it, kind of thing. Like it doesn't look real, but it works in the context of the film. Like it's not one of those kind of like silly films you get in some like international markets where it's ridiculously over the top and there's no attempt to make it look real. It's not like that. It's very much in the reality of the film that it sets up. This makes sense that everything looks like this, if that makes sense. And it totally worked. Like the way the main two characters are introduced is incredible. In particular, one of them, the first one you see, who he's just introduced in one of the best ways I've ever seen a character introduced in a film, and it's within the first sort of half an hour. And I kind of just went, right, this guy is brilliant, and I kind of see why these guys are huge stars. Like they both have a very kind of quiet charisma to them. Like they can not do anything and you can be drawn to them, kind of thing. Like they're really interesting guys. And there's a few dance numbers, a few musical numbers in the film. Like it's not a musical, but there's a few songs and dancing and stuff in it. It's a 3-hour plus film, so there's a lot in it. And they're both fantastic at that as well. So how they can be these strong actors and action heroes and also do an amazing dance and musical routine is, I don't think you get many American stars that could do things like that. And I don't know if it's like a prerequisite for Indian film actors to be able to do all of these things, but it's very impressive nonetheless. But yeah, I really like this movie. I thought I might struggle with it because sometimes longer films that aren't in English, so like 3 hours long, I've no issue with subtitles, but sometimes when it's 3 hours, you do struggle. Well, I struggle to kind of keep up with it sometimes. Like when I watched Drive My Car, the Japanese film, I really struggled to follow that through all of it, just because I found sometimes if your attention wavers a bit during a 3-hour film, you can't always catch everything in the subtitles. But a fair bit of this is in English as well, because there's a lot of English characters. They're the bad guys, obviously, because this is 1920 India, and English people were not good. And yeah, but I didn't struggle with it at all. I think 40 minutes in, after it's all set up and the opening credits come up, I was like, bam, I'm in. And there's a few bits where it kind of dips a little bit, but it never loses your attention, and it's necessary to do that because it can't, obviously, no film can be all action all the time. And the quieter bits really get you more invested in the rest of it, which is great. There's a few rom-com elements in it as well. But yeah, I really thought it was great. Like I've been thinking about it a lot, and I'm really looking forward to watch it again. If it's proven quite popular on streaming now as well, so I feel like internationally, so I feel like it might get another cinema run, and if it does, I'd definitely consider going to see it, even in pandemic times. And I know it got an IMAX release. I doubt it would over here, but that was, that would be incredible. It's just, yeah, At one point towards the end of the film, I actually applauded. I can't remember what it was, but I was just alone in my room watching it, and I just did a little polite clap, and I was like, why am I clapping? But it was just one of those movies where, you know, I kind of went, yeah, this is all great. I'm on these guys' sides. But yeah, I really thought it was fantastic. I mean, I've never seen an Indian film before, as far as I recall, and it's not, you know, it's not something that really breaks through into the English market, even for someone like myself who's quite well versed in international films and a big fan of them. Really, I watch, you know, if films not in the English language quite a lot, and it's just, for some reason, it's something that's never really kind of broken through over here, and I would assume in America as well. I don't really know, but I found it very, very accessible, very easy to watch. So if you want something that's vastly different to what you'd be used to, and kind of make you look at and wish that, you know, American blockbusters were on this level kind of thing, visually, if nothing else, I'd definitely give it a look. Don't let the fact that it's, you know, mostly not in English, and it's the fact that it's, you know, it's a film from a market we don't see much of over here, don't let that put you off. Just go along with the ride, and hopefully you'll have a great time like I did. I think it might even be, it's early doors, but it might even be my favourite film this year. By the end of the year, when I do my little list, we shall see. But yeah, check it out. It's on Netflix, probably everywhere, I think, but especially in England and maybe America. But yeah, thanks very much. Bye.